In a land not so far away lived a man who liked to live on the edge, a man who liked to live each day to the fullest, each moment like there was not to be another, each second as though he may not breathe his next. His name was Grandpa Dennis. On every third Saturday, Grandpa Dennis got very excited, even more so than usual. He'd set up his cowboys and Indians, he'd get down his favorite books, and he'd unwrap his best and biggest slingshot. You see, every third Saturday was the best day ever. It was the day his little Jimmy came to visit. Little Jimmy had always enjoyed playing with his Grandpa Dennis, but lately it had become very clear that something was different. Jimmy didn't want to play imaginary games or read the magic faraway tree. He'd found something else to keep him occupied. His grandpa's all-magnifying glass. These days, little Jimmy had a new friend, and his name was Tiny Tiago. Grandpa Dennis had no idea that little Jimmy was talking to Tiny Tiago. As far as he could see, Jimmy just didn't find his old grandpa interesting anymore. But no matter how much he resented it, and no matter how many times he tried to hide it, Grandpa Dennis couldn't take such a wonderful device off such a wondrous little boy. Little did he know, it was Tiny Tiago who was disrupting all their funs and games. Tiny Tiago, it turned out, was an opinionated little shit. He told Jimmy Grandpa Dennis should stop carrying on like a goose and do some grown-up things for a change. "You sound like my father," said little Jimmy to Tiny Tiago. On little Jimmy's next visit, things were a bit different. Instead of playing around like he always did, Grandpa Dennis sat doing the crossword, and then he watered his cactus, and then he just stared out the window and smoked his pipe. Jimmy went outside to tell Tiny Tiago. "Well, that's how it should be," said Tiny Tiago to little Jimmy. "That's how granddads are supposed to act. They're even older than adults and shouldn't run around chasing butterflies and playing cops and robbers. That's not how you make a living, Jimmy. Life is all about hard work." It was at that exact moment that Jimmy realized he liked his old grandpa better, and that Tiny Tiago was an idiot, and that he was going to kill him with the power of his magnifying glass. And so he lined up the sun and set Tiny Tiago's stupid little house on fire. Well, Grandpa Dennis couldn't believe his luck. He couldn't ban a magnifying glass for looking at flowers, but there was no way little Jimmy was allowed to make fire. This was just what he needed to turn the boy around. What he didn't know then is that little Jimmy couldn't wait to play cowboys and Indians again.
Oh, this could be the start of something insane. Oh, this could be the part where we lose it again. Oh, I'd like a bite of such a deliciously raw piece of fruit.